features are sort of hidden in all these rocks. It's Apollo 15. Again, two faces on this rock, two-headed cartoon character. And then this one here is sort of like a quirky sort of one. You got the two eyes there. Now this and the snout. It's like one of those weird sort of ones you can't really place if it's one specific animal that they've got as a cartoon creation. And you got that sort of same funny sort of goldfish or frog look again on the other side there. Over the other side here we have something that resembles some sort of pipe. I haven't really been able to make out what it initially is, but it looks like that one's been sculpted on the spot. As you can see in the background, you get other ones shaped like dogs again, mostly dogs, and you do see the odd bears. There will be a bear in particular coming up, which you will be definitely know. Actually, there's one there, it looks like a bear there. They're sort of diffuse, they're all over the place. Okay, so Apollo 16, two-headed cartoon dog. You got that one there. That's it's like the droopy sort of dog. The doe eye, or the sad-looking eyes. A little dog here, and there's some sort of a creature on the other side. This one here is sometimes, I mean, the thing with the artificial rocks is they may have actually sculpted real rocks sometimes, possibly, or the way that Disney makes these artificial rocks. These ones, this looks like a real rock that they may have sculpted, and some of them do have quite a bit of weight to it. That's why you do tend to see clasts on some of them. It tends to show through in quite a few of the Apollo photos. Should go on, and it's Apollo 16, two-headed cartoon character. Just over here, I'll bring it up. Okay, so it's the same sort of look. You sort of have those very full lips for this funny sort of creature, and the two eyes there, its nose, and then you got another face on the other side there. Another one, Apollo 16, and here's Apollo 16, unhappy cartoon character. Sort of like a ghostly sort of figure on this one. Two eyes. And then you have another sort of like part of a man sort of face down here. Okay, Apollo 16, you got a face rock. See, they tend to crop up. It's amazing this sort of set dressing that they actually done for these. But one thing I also want to point out is that mostly with these film studios, they were doing this filming, and it was what they were actually good at doing was making it appear a lot bigger than they actually were. Now that's something I'm necessarily going to cover in another video about the perspective and how they actually made these studios appear as if they were quite massive. Obviously you can imagine what sort of tricks they would have used to do that, but it's just identifying how they actually did that, and whether or not you can identify it in different photos, which I have noticed there's certain patterns coming through, and I'll get into that in another video. And we'll just get closer to this face rock. As you can see, he's got the very defined sort of lips there, the old eyes, and here we have an oversized, what looks like a turtle head rock. It's the sort of thing you'd see at Disneyland, and pretty much all their photos, if you ever go there, you've got the long sort of mouth there and the two eyes up here. But quite often what you tend to see is they might have eyes here, but they're almost another set of eyes that sort of creates a different impression of it. But definitely Disney Studios was in control with whatever they wanted in here, and it's hard to know. I mean, I've thought about it a bit, whether or not NASA was actually aware of what they were doing when they were helping them fake the moon landings, whether or not they actually realised, or the management, or the upper people in NASA that oversaw all the faking, whether or not they actually knew that Disney was actually putting in their own type of creations they have in their studios or in their theme parks. Now here's Apollo 12 dog turning its head right. Rock. That looks like it's clumped together dirt that's been moulded again. You've got the head there, the two eyes, the body. And here we go, Disneyland, Frontierland, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Fake cartoon character rocks. Now these are obviously some of the ones I showed you some earlier on. It's the same general area. Now obviously when you have a look here, of course, one thing you find it hard is that you know what, like the rocks, whether or not they've taken the colour out of a lot of them, but because they tend to be quite dull on a lot of the moon landing photos. So of course you've got all the dogs here, you've got the totem dogs, yeah, they're all over the place there, and that's the way their theme parks are quite often. Now this is Apollo 17, a massive dog head shape. Obviously if you just look at it, not thinking that it's anything necessarily, you may not notice it, but once you become aware of what has actually been done here, then you will begin to see them all over the place. Some people might say, oh, that's just your imagination, but it's not, because of the type of characters or legs coming through that you see, particularly that are associated with Disney, obviously, and also what is actually coming through in regards to the bits like a bit of metal up here coming out of the top of this dog's top of its head. Obviously there's a lot of clasps and things for lifting. Now this one here, what you can actually see here, what they actually would have done with this size, right? They wouldn't actually moved it as is. What they've actually done is they've cut it up into pieces to make it easy to move, and once they've got it all close by into where they're going to place it for the taking the photographs, or initially if these particular places are used for the TV coverage as well, for any different landings, then what they've done is they put it together like a jigsaw once they've got it in place. Very fine, close one obviously, and that's why you see all these lines in it. Now what we have here, just go a bit closer, you've got like a dolphin over here, some sort of I mean, I don't necessarily know all the Disneyland characters as it were, and quite often they might necessarily be like some sort of teddy bear or something, but I obviously I'd imagine people out there would get the general idea of what I'm referring to quite often. And as you can see, that's the dog, the nose, the eye there, it's the way, or it can be the eye here even. Actually this eye here, I'll go a bit closer to it, because what they've done with a lot of these ones is they've actually added on like artificial eye. They're not actually part of a rock. The rock, initially this might be a real rock that they've actually chiseled, or initially might be a fake rock. Obviously the difference between them, it can be hard to tell, but generally it's the shapes they've made them into, and you can actually quite often see other bits of metal to identify whether or not they're fake rocks or not. But this one here, this eye,